have another fantastic and actually really interesting case study and story to bring you. I want to welcome you guys to Dawn Paula. Is it Dawn Paula or is it Dawn?
So it's Dawn Paula is my branded name now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I wanted to make sure. I want to make sure I call you the correct name in the rebrand. Cool. So can you tell us a little bit about where are you located and how long have you been in the beauty business and maybe healing business as well?
Uh, yeah, sure. So my name is Dawn Paula. I can go by Dawn for short. That's fine. And I am located in Rockland County, New York. I'm about a half an hour outside of Manhattan.
Great.
Um, yeah, and I have a background in the healing arts. I've been a massage therapist and energy work practitioner. Wow, since 1999, so quite a few years there. And then I started doing hair just about a little over 10 years ago. I got my cosmetology license here in New York. And I flipped the script a little bit and started to do hair as well. And then worked in salons for a few years. And then during COVID, I uh, branched out and from a big salon and I started to become a salon suite owner. And so I've been working on my own, if you will, in that type of setting since. And yeah, so that's where that brings me. I'm also a psychic medium, animal communicator, and a intuitive healing practitioner as well.
That's amazing. I love your story. And I love that you came at it because it's so novel for somebody to have, gotten like a license to touch and like a background in massage, right? And then get into hair. Like usually it's the flip, like most of the stories. So I love your hero story for sure. And I love that you have obviously learned so much about yourself and tuned into your gifts and created all of these ways for you to help other people. I forget, how long has it been since you've been in salon suite ownership?
So right, so that was during COVID, I guess. So it would be three
Okay.
years. Yeah.
Cool. And because of your background in the healing arts now, okay, we're in 2023. Let me do some math. Okay, so 24 years in the healing arts. And then is it also 24 years like since you got your massage license as well, like ish?
I got it in 1999.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. So then you've been a
Yeah.
healer for 24 years,
Yeah.
maybe even longer than that. And I'd love to know, how did you learn about becoming light? I think it was a friend of a friend. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, I think I'd seen you on Instagram or something like here and there. And then I actually went for a haircut. I was like, I need to do something different. I like to support, I do this even in healing. I always like to support the industry I'm in and really do that as a guest or as a paying client, because I think it's really important. Sans when I need to cut my own hair, but really when I want to actually do a real haircut from someone else and have that experience and to be in the chair and just be a person and not be somebody in service, right? You gotta,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. And right, so
That's why I
right,
mean you've been a healer longer than 24 years because you have the thing where people just tell you things.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure, my whole life, right, whole
Exactly.
life. Yeah.
I was like I was like
And
seven
then I've
years old
also,
and like grown-ups were telling me like all this deep shit. I was like, what? I'm like a kid.
yeah, yeah, and then I've got spirit also talking to me, so like it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
Well,
so yeah. It's like sometimes
um,
it's like, wait, everybody just shush, who's talking?
yeah, I mean, before I even go on to like the pre-prepared questions, because I love these chats because they get to go where they're going to go. And it's just so fascinating what you do, which is why so much of like our time together, when I was slacking you in the early morning while I was drinking my morning coffee on my porch, I would say, I want to know more about what you do. So like, can you please tell us like on Instagram and in your marketing, like, what do you do? Like, what does it mean? Like, what does it mean to be a psychic medium?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So, right. And that's always kind of for me, it's like, well, how do I dissect and give an answer that's
Totally.
just like, right? It's like
Totally. It's like
without going
defining
like,
healing. You're like,
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. But so real quick though, to answer your first question, I met you. So I went for a haircut in Brooklyn. Um, Sambolin, I think his name is. So I
Yeah.
will give him a shout out. And he not only did an amazing haircut, but I told him I was a psychic medium and that I do energy work and all this stuff. And he goes, "Oh my gosh, my girl Ashley, I know her and she does that too. And you should look her up." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And I'm in the chair and I'm like, "Let's find her and follow her for sure." And then I was like, "Oh, wait." And then I kind of just went. And then soon thereafter, I ended up, getting information about your program and then enrolling. So giving him a big shout out. And then for your second question, yeah, so psychic medium, I tune in. I have developed now to understand what that means. I've been in development for a couple of years, although I've just only recently gone more public with it so that I can help others with the intention of offering them comfort and a space for healing in a different way. Having an opportunity to hear from loved ones. So what I can do is in the ability to connect with loved ones in spirit who have crossed over, and then they would be a direct connection for you. So say it was like somebody that you might have known. It could be a friend, family member. I mean, one time I had this guy's like teacher from like middle school come through, but the reason why she was there was the message was because she was actually quite prevalent to him in those years. She was a great influence, and it was like, but she had kind of let him know that he actually influenced her too in this really beautiful way as a teacher, and she never really shared that with him while she was here. So it's like so really cool stuff can really happen, and then on the psychic level, you know energy, tapping into the auric field and getting some information, past, present, future, but it's not like I always say somewhere 6 months to a year with the future stuff. And so that's a whole nother cup of tea to talk about. But I will say that all psychics are not mediums, but all mediums are psychics, and in that way, and that's important to clarify. And I will do a Instagram chat about that. Actually, thank you for
You're like,
just
thanks for giving me some content ideas.
yeah. Just a quick one of my little videos about that. But yeah, and so that development started to happen. I always knew I was a spirit, was always very sensitive, would get these things, but didn't know what it meant. And then, only years later as an adult, and just a few years, really getting that development is so important to understand, because it's like the picture show, right? It's like Pictionary, but better. But also like
Yeah.
then translating that. And I think, you know, you probably even experience that as an energy healer. We do that too. Sometimes we'll see things with energy and starting to channel for me as I was developing, even in my energy healing development. That's when it really got clear, like, whoa, like this is like that and then some.
Mhm.
So that's how that works.
Thank you for that. Also,
Yeah.
random side note, do you do this with animals as well?
Yes, I do.
Incredible.
Yes. I love the
Uh,
fur. I love the fur friends. Sometimes they don't have fur, but four-legged,
for
whatever.
sure. Yeah, yeah. And then for those people who are watching this and then they do have a background in holistic healing, do you want to share about that side as well?
Yeah, sure. So I actually got my degree, and this is kind of funny when I tell people I got my degree in sports therapy from college.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, after that, I just was always, really good at dealing with injury. I dealt with a lot of injury care and healing with athletes and things like that. And, after college, I decided to go to massage therapy school to, um, understand too that injury prevention and care had a lot to do with um, the healing element of massage therapy, and really spreading the word and educating athletes on how important it is to maintain that type of thing to you know help their bodies maintain the endurance and the stresses that get put on it in different types of sports. So
Oh, yeah.
that led me down the massage therapy schooling and certification. And then when I was in that environment, I started to also meet a lot of other types of healers. And
Mhm.
it just really got really open and broad, which was super cool, because I was, again,
Not
by
really expecting
default,
that. You were like, oh,
and yeah, yeah. And I was always naturally like, of course, like I always had that, you know, belief in energy, belief in, all the other woo-woo stuff. I'll just, and
Yeah.
that comes along with it. And so, being exposed to all of that, and then working in spa environment for years, which I did do, and they would always give me the athletes that would come in, and things like that. Um, and then I got certified in Reiki level 1, I think it was, and I felt like I understood that, but I also felt like what I did was a little more, I want to say this in the utmost
With most
respectful
love. Yeah.
way.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was just that I felt like for me, because of the sensitivities and because of the other modalities that I had learned already, and because of my own intuition with when working on people, even
Totally.
just working on manipulation and bodies
Yes.
and stuff like
Yes.
that,
Hmm.
um it was a little different, and I felt like Reiki for me was like putting it in a box,
Hmm.
and it was
I
putting
get
it in
that.
this context, and I was like, but I feel like there's some, like, it's a little more expansive for
Hmm.
what resonates more with me.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'll use the idea of Reiki when I'm explaining something, just because it's something that a lot of
They
people are more
understand.
familiar with.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I kind of just really, it's more energy work. And then especially once like the true channeling and even more like psychic-y stuff start. And I was like, okay, so it's just kind of like all encompassing.
Hmm.
And then I love that because I would be able to offer that while I was working on people, even in massage, people would come to me and it would just be like a therapeutic, time. They would just
Oh, yeah.
schedule the time. It wasn't the kind. And one of the things, and I will say about becoming late, and I'm sure you'll get into this, but with how I've now formatted my healing, it's like they're blocking sessions with the hair, not just the service. It's not about the service that they're
Hmm.
getting anyway. So I kind of referred back to what I used to do. It's like you're
Yeah.
getting the time, and whatever intuitively you need
That's what
is what
happens.
you get. Right.
Exactly. And that's always the fun part that I loved because then everything is so incredibly prescriptive
Yes.
and it's
Yes.
so fucking different from when they saw me 3 months ago to when they're going to see me now. And it's awesome. And it
Yeah.
keeps it green for us
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
do believe in us having fun and enjoying our business has to come first. But then, of course, so deep and so rich for the clients, especially with your background.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And for sure, in that way, I mean, really, when my clients now and my guests are coming to me and they're going, okay, let's talk about this like healing thing and what does it mean? And even the ones that haven't seen me yet.
Mhm.
And I go, you know what? I can tell you, I might use a little of this. I might use a little of that. I might, but why don't you just get in the chair and we'll see what happens, And so there's that willingness for them to just completely go, oh, okay, and I'm like, because I'm not really sure. Once you get in the chair and I start to like intuitively tap in, I get pulled to what you need. And then I'll use those modalities on you in that time.
But like,
And
how
it's
wonderful for New Yorkers. I mean, get real, like New Yorkers just need it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like everybody needs it, right? But it's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, and yeah, especially though, I mean, we are definitely a fast buzzing
Yeah.
state
They
and
didn't invent
area.
like New York
Yeah,
Minute for nothing.
exactly, right? So it's and I serve a lot of people that are very busy, just and want to take time for themselves, but I am getting those who are comfortable with trying this out in this new way, um, are really feeling, wow, that was so cool. I didn't even know I needed that. It's like, oh, self-care, get a haircut and feel great. And I always used to say, like, hair day is a day to celebrate. When you get your hair done, I'm like, girl, I hope, or guy, I
Yes.
hope you have somewhere to just, even if it's a Tuesday, go to dinner or go grab yourself a coffee in the swankiest place in
Hmm.
town because you deserve to be celebrated. And when you get your hair done, you feel amazing. And that's just, right. It's just do it, right? Go be seen and
Yeah.
feel you, right? And go feel yourself, go get out there. And now it's like they get that, Plus they're like, whoa, like I'm leaving here like all like floaty and feeling like, wow, whoa, and it's cool because there's just that extra element of I knew I needed to just come in and feel good and get pampered, but I really needed that, like, I needed that nap. I needed that reset. I needed that whatever energy
Mhm.
healing. And I always tell them it's your journey. It's your journey. This time is really yours. I'm just here to serve space, like and spirit, and offer the space for you to get what you need, whatever that means for you. And a lot of times I'm like, don't even tell me. You don't even have to tell me what happened for you unless you want. But
Totally.
some people, I've been doing this. It's funny. This week, spirit works through me. And this week it's been a lot of, I've been taking them on a meditation journey,
Nice.
and really bringing them to a place while I do the energy work for them in other
Yes.
ways. Because I also realize that twofold, some people quieting the mind while I do the energy work, they're like they
It's
almost
so
tense
hard
up
for
because
them. They need to have
they're
a
like, what is
homework
she doing?
assignment.
What is she doing now? Yeah,
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 they need a
yeah,
fucking homework assignment, or you need to be like,
yeah,
now I'm going to light some sage. Now I'm gonna
yeah,
go at your heart. Like they just need that
yeah.
because it allows them to fucking chill.
Exactly. So if
Totally.
I almost take them somewhere else, that they have a place to put their mind and they're on this journey, and it's almost like a transcendence or a
Yes.
meditation,
Mhm.
and I'm doing this stuff over here, then their mind is taken out of it, but I can work on the body in that way. And it's been
Yeah.
really cool to play around with that and see the results that I
Yeah.
can offer for them. Yeah.
That's so
So just
cool.
having fun, and they're cool with it. And and because of my massage background, I think one day on Slack too, you were like, oh, I didn't know you offered, but because of my massage background, and I can do hand massage or arm, like forearm, and how many people on the phones and on the this, and you
Oh yeah.
know and people are like, I'm like, so we'll just top it off with like, keep your eyes closed, you've got your jade crystal eye mask, and we'll just do like a hand massage, but you'll know that's when it's time to come back into your body. And they're like, what?
But yeah, I mean, I
So
wish
it's
that I
fun.
lived closer to you because I would want you just to do everything and like get my arms, especially the arms, right? Like all the shoulder work from the blow dry, all the meow meow from the keyboard. I mean, just amazing. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
Thank
so
you.
cool. So because of your extraordinary background, what about like becoming light was maybe the intention for you? It sounds like I can make assumptions, having worked with you, that it sounds like you got to have a like a Leo moment to be like, ta-da, like here I am, and really, really go for it and come out of the closet, so to speak. But what was it for you, really?
So funny that you just said that too, because I will share with you that my moon is in Leo.
Ah, amazing. I love it. Fluffy. I love that fluffy
Dun, dun.
energy.
Right? Yeah. You're intuitive.
Yes. Are
Um,
you do you pick things out of? Yes. Yes, I do.
but yeah, I think it definitely helped me in that way. Feel like becoming light was definitely, I don't know if I had really set an intention, and sometimes I do that. That's just me, right?
Totally.
Sometimes, um, you know, I'm like this frog hopping from lily pad to lily pad to see what happens next and how does it float? Where do we go? Blah. But but I joined because there was this intuitive attraction to it. And I'm like, okay, that feels like it might be something that I need right now. And I feel that one of the things, not only just meeting a great, community of fellow energy workers and stylists, and also you. And it was so funny because I was like, oh my God, like years ago. And I think I even might have said this to you when we first were chatting about if it was the right thing for me. But I was like, I tried to do this in my first solo years ago. And I was doing it all as an upgrade instead of just the session. So what I really got was, no, girl, like make this again, going back to taking what I used to do, but bringing it into a very now. This is it. Like offer sessions that everybody needs healing. And I
Mhm.
do offer, if people don't want it, they don't have to have it. And I'm very open with that. And I'm
Yeah.
very respectful of that. And I'm like, listen, I don't take it personally if you don't want it. It's so okay. It's so okay. And then I'm like, but if you want to pick my brain and ask about it instead, sure.
Mhm.
Some people are kind of feeling it out, and that's okay too. But becoming light gave me the space to understand how to do that in context, and feel comfortable with it, and know. I feel that the way that you put it together and facilitated it, again, like I had tried this, a couple years ago. I think our minds were aligned. We didn't know each other, and
Yeah.
just the idea is there, but I didn't have the way to facilitate it really, and you did, and I loved that because I could draw from that in this program and understand, like, well, this is what it would look like, and this is how it can be offered, and this is really like a great way to do that. And also has helped me to recognize that I want to move more into my mediumship, getting comfortable being
Yes.
out there and being seen, which is something I know when I first started, I was like, I don't know, still, blah, blah, yeah,
Well,
no.
yeah, but we had
And
to swing to the other side of the pendulum to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do hair. And then you're like, ah, dog, I actually did it. And so cool that you're like, now I know who the fuck I am.
yes, yes, totally. Thank you. Yeah. And then to go, so for those people that I still do hair for, I'm here, I'm serving. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna dip out, right? It's like, but I'm definitely setting the intention to start to pull back and fill the books with more mediumship and readings and all that stuff too, because that really needs to be honored in me, so that I can serve in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you do live events, which I used to do in Washington, D.C. years ago when I was, wanting to build basically brand awareness, let's call it, and kind of come out of the closet, so to speak. So, can you tell me a little bit about the live events that you host?
Sure. So, what I do, my events are actually, we call them DEMS. They're demonstrations of mediumship,
Oh,
or
very
gallery
cool.
mediumship. So that's what I do. So it's really also known as platform mediumship. It's got all these like fun little buzzwords. But
Okay.
so basically, when I book an event, what that means is that I go and we fill the room with anything from 10 to however many, 10 and up people, and I will go and I will connect with spirit, and I will give you evidence. I work evidentially, so it will come through with some evidence. And then you might go like, oh my God, that's totally my Aunt Sally. And I'll be like, all right, hold on. And I'll give you one more bit. And I'll be like, all right, well, did Aunt Sally have,
Mhm.
a rose garden in the back of her house that you would have understood? You went every Sunday and got a rose from it, and and you'd be like, oh my God, yeah. So I'll be like, cool, we've got the link. I'll give you a message, and then like I'll give you whatever Aunt Sally wants to say that day, and then I move on to the next. So they're a lot of fun. Not everybody gets a reading, but everybody gets to support the energy. I don't pick who comes through. I just go with spirit led. So then it's like Sally moves over, and some guy Joe who's like a plumber comes through, and I start describing him, and then somebody else there might go, oh my God, like that was
Mhm.
my neighbor, blah blah. And then so it's fun because it just goes boop boop boop.
That's
and
incredible.
uh and those are my events, and they're a lot of fun, yeah, and I love doing it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then I have really personally enjoyed your content. I still see you every morning, like when you have videos and you started explaining a little bit about little just bits about what you do or how you do something, or can you tell me more about that process? 'Cause I feel like you can agree with me that there was a bit of like an army crawl when it came to being out there, like knowing what to post. And I think because maybe it was more hair focused and it just wasn't as fun. But can you talk to me a little bit about like that process just in terms of marketing and how that's feeling now?
Yeah, sure. I'm still getting there. It's still a little molassesy, but I'm doing a
Sure.
lot better than I was. And I had this huge aversion in a lot of ways. And what it comes down to is that I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, I'm a practitioner of things that are, I mean, more manual. Although with the psychic medium stuff, I do work on Zoom. I do offer sessions on Zoom. I do gallery events on Zoom. I mean,
Awesome.
however, right, yeah, so fun. But to go to these platforms and market myself, it was that A, I had to be comfortable with being fully out and fully public.
Hmm.
One, right? B, that it was okay, cool. Now where's my comfortability, and how do I do that without, uh, I kept feeling like, oh my God, especially with hair. I can do great hair. I work in a one person studio, right? I'm like, it's me. I don't have an assistant, blah, blah, blah. So here I am. I'm like, now I've got to be a colorist, a stylist, a craft cutter, an energy healer, and an amazing photographer, videographer, editor, blah, blah, copywriter. Oh my God. And I'd get so overwhelmed that I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm.
So finding that way to be able to not have to worry about the photos because it's not focusing on hair right now, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it's a bit of a relief. I
That's
have to,
good
it's good.
because it's aligned for you though.
Right.
Whereas for me, I'm like, oh, thank God it's a hair photo day.
Right.
So
See,
it's just
it,
different. It's just different strokes for different
it's
folks.
just
That's it.
different. And I've even taken, like, before, I mean, in the years past, like how to do the best photos for your platforms, and how to blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, but it's a whole nother hour of my day that I just don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And to find it, it's like, I'm exhausted then and I overthink it, right? You saw me overthink a lot of that.
Yeah.
Videos that I came up with, I just was like, you know what? What's the best way to get information and to use that platform to educate or give people a lot of the answers to the questions that I commonly get?
Yes.
And then not have to do a lot of copy. I can just give them a little blurb, but I can really just say it. Let me just talk it. Like, I'm so much better if somebody asks me questions and I have the space to answer it. So I'm going to pretend when I go on there that I'm constantly either being interviewed or I'm bringing up a question that somebody asked me earlier in the day or
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, and I'll be like, I'm going to answer it right here. So
That's
yeah.
incredible though, but that has more flow. I'm sure it's still sludgy, of course, because that's just a process around being seen and
Process. Yeah.
visibility and um what a godsend that it's more flowy for you.
It's so much easier. It just is. Yeah, thank you. I mean, it doesn't mean I don't have to take, a couple of takes,
Fine.
whatever it
Work is
takes.
work. Work takes work.
But I can do like, oh, quick, like today I have an hour. I'll shoot a couple videos I have
Mhm.
a list of couple questions that I've been thinking of or people that, and then I'll save them and I can do that. And that takes a lot of the pressure off. I can schedule them. It
Great.
takes a lot of pressure off. Yeah.
That's great. You have such a diverse background that I'm really excited now that we really honed in on who you are and where you want to go. And you're already implementing that, of course. Like you did a lot of that work like during the active time, but I'm really excited to see even how like the rest of this year and then next year unfolds for you because I know it's just gonna keep like building more and more and more, especially as you do the live events and just, are more visible.
Thank you. Yeah, me too. I'm excited. I'm excited too. I'm like, oh my gosh, but I feel that the more I allow myself to be seen, I think that's really important. And I think it's getting out of my comfort zone and
Mhm.
just knowing that I'm supported. And that's one of the things I got from your group as well, is like we're all just so supportive of each other.
Mhm.
And it's like when I see somebody or saw somebody who I was in, in your program with, I'd be like, go be seen, like, yes, go, like get out there. And so when I know that it's coming back at me as well, like the support's in there
Yeah,
amongst all of us, it doesn't feel competitive, it feels supportive, and that's huge.
that's huge. Yes, which is one of the things that I love about the Becoming Light community. Just love them.
Yes.
And I know that everybody who was able to work with you, like on the live events, just said nothing but just like phenomenal things about you.
Thank you.
Yeah, they did.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I
They would
appreciate
like they
that.
would private message me in Slack. So just know that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, how can people connect with you, by the way?
So right now they can connect with me. They can go to my Instagram, which is Dawn Paula. They can go to my website, which is dawnpaula.com.
Okay.
On Instagram, my link to my website is in the bio. And
Awesome.
I've just started a TikTok, which is also Dawn Paula.
Great.
So you can find me there. Yeah. And I'm still getting familiar with it, but it seems
Sure.
to be going. I'm doing little videos on there, which is great. Facebook, I have yet to chip away at, but it's in the works. I've just got to get there. But yeah, so really, and the website is probably the best way. There's a page on there about hair and healing. There's a page on there about what events I have coming up live if somebody wanted to come. I will be doing a live event with another medium. I'm super excited. I just connected
That's
with
fun.
her. She's in Arizona. She's a great medium, and we are going to do a online live. And then we are also going to be promoting, we're going to be doing a ticket only Zoom gallery. So you'd have to get a ticket for that and come in, and you can live anywhere in the world and join our event. So we will be promoting that as well.
On Instagram, so they can find the
And
link.
TikTok. Yeah.
Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I'll be putting it up on Instagram when we're going to be doing it, so that the awareness people will be like, oh my gosh, I want to, yeah.
Yeah, when is it?
Yeah, how to go. We didn't book the actual live we're going to do, that is free. And that live stream will be on TikTok, and that is going to be on October 13th.
Oh, perfect.
In the evening. Yeah,
Before
so
Halloween.
I'm
Perfect.
going to, because it's a Friday and it's Friday the 13th. So we were like, we have to do it this day. It's
Amazing.
October, spooky season.
So good. So great. I love it.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun. Yeah.
Your story is so inspirational. And I know that there's going to be people who watch this and, feel called in some way to magic. And so what would you say maybe to a younger version of yourself who's watching this? Like, what advice do you have for them?
Don't quit before the miracle happens.
I love that.
Yeah. And and just like, and just be true to yourself, and I think that I believe in the timing of everything. And so when you're ready, but I also feel that you can definitely get in your own way. And so it's like, it's okay to be you, and it's okay to be seen being you. And, it took a lot of years to get to that point. And then once you get there, man, just hug it up and hug it up, and just because whoever, if you're not for everybody, that's okay too. Right. And so there's nothing wrong with that. And so that's why I say, like, don't quit before the miracle happens, because, it's like you get so in your way. It's like, oh my God, I'm not going there. I'm not doing it. And come on, little one, get out there.
Oh, such a delight. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing your story.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. I'm happy to have shared it, and I'm happy to have been a part of your program. I'm really grateful for the time, and even all the, digging my heels in, and thank you for being patient with me as I went through my
Oh,
so I thank you for that as well.
you're welcome. Tough love, that's service.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.